Yes, people, welcome back to GunnersHub. Like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I thought it was only right that I bring my boys Sam and Sean to discuss the big topic. Can Mikel Arteta get Arsenal over the line to the title? So we're going to discuss that and get everyone's views and myself. We're going to assess, a little bit about, what we need to get us over the line and take us to the next level. Rashawn, Sam, take it away. Tell me, obviously the season is, we know that maybe, possibly, mathematically the league is not done, but we feel like it's done. So, Sam, tell me, what's your views? You think Arteta can get Arsenal over the line?
Well, I mean, it's tough to put a case for him because, since the FA Cup win, we've had two close title run-ins, and the season we were hoping it would be us. It hasn't been us, for whatever reasons, the injuries to Reds. It's been tough, Well, I spoke to someone, and the truth is we've not really reached any finals since he's been there. So can he do it this time in the biggest tournament in Europe against the biggest team? I don't know. It's hard to say, Saka's coming back. Hopefully he'll be available. So, you can only hope, in my opinion.
Definitely. Real Madrid, they're not just they're gonna go hard. They're gonna really push, and we're gonna be tested. I think but I do feel like that's a good test for us because I want to go out with a bang. I want Arteta to put the best team as possible, considering injuries out there. And I want him to really go for it. And I don't know if you don't agree or not, but I don't feel for the Real Madrid games, both legs, that Marino should be up front. I think you need someone like Martinelli through the middle. Do you agree with that, or would you just keep Marino up front? Do you think that's going to get us to win both legs, Marino, or would you put maybe Moneri through the middle? There's other better options. What do you think about Marino up top for Madrid, Rashawn?
I would say play Martinelli through the middle, to be fair. Although he was looking good on the right-hand side yesterday, but I think he would do a better job possibly up front than Marino. Not really seen a lot from Marino, to be fair. Obviously, he scored the goal yesterday, but other than that, he's not a forward. Do you know what I mean? He's a midfielder, and it's a shame that we're in this position where we're having to be playing a midfielder up front. Do you know what I mean? But these things should have been sorted out ahead of time. But yeah, personally, I would put Martinelli or Trossard in the middle.
Sam, what's your opinions on that? Do you think Marino up top, or maybe somebody else to try, or do you feel like Real Madrid is not the place to try anything?
No, Rashawn's exactly right. Like, that's exactly what I would say. Marino is not a striker. He doesn't have the movements of a striker. I mean, even as a target man, I've not really seen him winning duels up top. Anyways, the ball just comes straight back.
Yeah.
And there's just such a lack of threat, a lack of pace. I mean, you're gonna put Marino up front, and to be honest, what's the Real Madrid team gonna have to deal with? There's no attacking threat.
None at all. None. I really don't know. I mean, this is the chance of silverware, and it's just such a shame to be in such a position. Business obviously should have been done in January. I don't know, but Mikel's the type of manager that believes in his team. He doesn't want to, kick their confidence anymore. He's very much, I believe in my team. I believe in my team. Even after the games and press conferences, he very rarely says a negative word after the game. It's quite difficult to assess because I would like to see better with top players, like, for example, Nico Williams and I don't know, Isaac up front, an explosive, another wing, another defender. I would love to see that. it's hard for me to assess Arteta right now with the squad he's got. We know that's not enough, but do we actually think, just say for example, another season, do you feel like Arteta's the right caliber of manager, the right profile of manager to take us to the title? Do you think Arteta with Arsenal is going to win a trophy under Arsenal? Do you think it's or you just think, do you know what? It's hard to assess, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to tell. I mean, the 2 seasons when we've really challenged, unfortunately, we've come up against a great Manchester City team. And funny enough, the one time when they've dropped off, it's Liverpool who have just come out of nowhere and taken it away from us. I mean, am I like insinuating that maybe we need all the teams to drop off before we win? I mean, that's what's happened with Liverpool this season. No one's really challenged them. You know what I mean? So what I do feel about it is that once we've won one thing, I feel like he will win more. It's just a matter of when, what, how. You know what I mean? This is his first job, ultimately as the Arsenal manager, which is quite crazy, but it is what it is. He's the manager now, and well, he's taken us close, but let's see what he can do.
Definitely, I absolutely agree. Rashawn was just saying, do we feel like we need other teams to drop off, for Arsenal to get over the line, or is it something that we need to take accountability for as a team, as Mikel as the manager? What is it, the missing piece you feel that can get Arteta to, answer and flip that coin?
In my opinion, we're too inconsistent as a team. Like, we're just very inconsistent. I look at like a prime City and a prime Liverpool, they'll beat most teams in the league. But with Arsenal, we don't matter who we're playing, you can't guarantee there's a win. We could have Ipswich at the weekend. You can't say we're going to beat Ipswich. Southampton, West Ham, Villa, Newcastle, like any of them teams, even down to Bournemouth, you can't guarantee an Arsenal victory. And like, we're just too inconsistent. I feel like the gap's 12 points at the minute. Liverpool could lose the next 2 games, and we'll find a way to still mess up and still give them the advantage. And we always do this. Then when you add to that the lack of a striker up front, that's going to hurt your chances. Although last season we did score some 90+ goals with the players we had. And I mean, like, for the stick, what Havertz gets, he's putting some work. But I just think mainly it's down to the inconsistencies. And our injury record as well is just terrible. I feel like ever since Wenger came to the club, injuries just all the time, every season, just getting hit hard with injuries, and it hurts us. Like, we haven't got the squad to. Pardon me?
I say it's always the key players as well.
Yeah, always the key players. Like, so it's rough. I mean, 2 seasons ago we lost Saliba, and then that hurt us in challenging for the title. We finished 5 behind, and then last season, who was injured last season? There was a couple, man, weren't there? And we finished just behind City again. And then this season, a lot of people have said that it was our season to win and City fell off, so we should have went through. But I feel like the minute City fell off, Liverpool stepped up. And then with us being inconsistent, that gap just spread. Like, so it's crazy. It is crazy. But bottom line, I would say the inconsistency and the lack of a striker, and injuries is why we don't seem to get over the line. Yesterday should have been us lifting that Carabao Cup. You know what I mean? And that really would have been good for the club, but unfortunately, we just didn't do enough to make it.
So, you both made brilliant points, and something that stood out to me was the main word for me is what I've always said about Arsenal and the team currently is consistency. Now, They are not consistent. You cannot bank on them to sometimes get the result. And it's when we really need the result. For example, Liverpool will play, for example, I know, Aston Villa or Ipswich, whoever they're playing, and they drop points. We can never capitalise. And that happened with City. That happened with City way too many times. And I feel like I keep seeing this side of when we are, struggling. I keep seeing this pattern of Arsenal when they're very inconsistent. It's something that we look at and we're like, oh, we've seen this before. We've seen this before. We've seen it before. And it's like they're playing exactly the same. It's like almost like a double-sided mirror. It's exactly the same. Side to side passing, struggling to break down mid block, low block. We can't do it. Struggle. We struggle, and we haven't found a way to unlock the gem yet. And I feel like, do we put too much stick on Arteta, or is it for the players to step up? Because Arteta's obviously, we know he's set a standard for Arsenal now. This is our standard now. Yeah, we've been challenging, for the past couple of years. We fell short to City. Yeah, fair enough. First time you could say, and then now last year's 2 points. Now City drop off. We're falling back because Liverpool have stepped up and took their chances and not took anything for granted. Therefore, you know what? We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going. But with us, there seems to be that pattern. We keep falling short. My question is that something Arteta's relaying back to the players that is not good enough for the players? Or is it the players? Do the players need to take some accountability for the lack of results? Because Arteta has set the standard, right? We also need to make a case for him to also debate this as well. Or is it the players? What's the issue here? Is Arteta not? Is it just not working? What Arteta's saying, the tactics, the way he's playing. Is it Arteta or is it the players, Sam?
I don't want to blame the players entirely. There are some performances where it's been very poor, especially against West Ham. But to be honest, I was someone who, when we looked at the summer transfer dealings, I was someone that said it was actually okay. But when I look back at it and I look at the squad we have available now, we're actually lucky that we have good academy players, because Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri have made so much of an impact on the team that if they didn't step up into them gaps, we would have been in big trouble. It's as simple as that. And it makes me wonder how he can be saying we've got a thin squad. And we loaned out so many players. We loaned out Reece Nelson. We loaned out Fabio Vieira. Okay, because of match time. But then we brought in Raheem Sterling, who was it against Man United. We brought on Kieran Tierney ahead of him to play left wing. So obviously, there's something gone wrong there. And it's costing us the league and this season. I mean, if we talk about the last 3 league games, we dropped 7 points. We could be literally 5 points behind Liverpool right now. And that's recent, despite all of the points we've dropped recently in the past or whatever. If I just talk about the last 3 games, we were still in it. You know what I mean? And when you talk about fine margins, this is what we're talking about. That's even without a striker. Imagine if we had a striker. We've only lost 3 games in the league this season, which is what's so crazy about it. It's actually not a lot of games we've lost.
No.
And it's the draws that have cost us. The draw at home to Everton, away at United, lost at home to West Ham, drawing against Brighton twice. I mean, when you list it, you realize that, oh my gosh, we've dropped a lot of silly points. So it makes me wonder, if we actually had some of these things in place, would Liverpool even be anywhere near us? We should have beat Liverpool at home as well. So, I think Liverpool, to be honest, we kind of let them off the hook, in the fact that we dropped off due to poor recruitment.
Yes, definitely poor recruitment. I feel like in the January window, we should have picked up a striker. Definitely. I know when Havertz and Jesus got injured, there was a bit of a bad timing, but we should have picked someone up. The Watkins bid, I don't know. A lot of people were saying that was a fake bid, like a bit of a smoke screen. I don't really know what to think. I didn't think clubs would be doing them things there, but maybe so. But I think we should have put in a bid for Osherman and gone in strong with between 80 and 100 million, get that striker, get everyone off our back, and then move forward and do what we're doing. And we haven't done that, and it's just silly, like amateur hour, really, when you think about it. And we're meant to be challenging for a league title, but yeah, when you needed a striker, you didn't pick one up. And now you're just stuck. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we'd be lucky to get past Madrid and lucky if Liverpool was to drop points, but you never know. You never know.
True.
Really, it would be good to get past Madrid though, at least, and then we'll be on to what is it, Villa, possibly. Who have Villa got? PSG. Yeah. So we could have to play PSG again, and I mean we already beat them this season, so there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. But when you're so inconsistent, even if you're relying on teams, it's still going to be a problem. If we're not careful, Nottingham Forest are going to pass us. Literally. Anyhow, we didn't win yesterday. Get me? Forest was a point behind us. Give it 2 games, they're ahead. Then we're the laughing stock again. Well, we shouldn't be the laughing stock because we're a good team. We're a good team. Arteta did say when he came in that he was going to have us challenging again for the title and have us in the Champions League, and he's done that. And we've just, when you look at it in total, I would say we've been 7 games off doing a league double and a Champions League. And that, if you take into account the Munich game last year, that was quarters, was it?
Yeah.
So, win one of them, get through the semis, final. That's 3 games. And then in the league, win 1 game. Last season, that brings us 2 ahead of City. And then the season before, win 2 games, that brings us 1 ahead. So we've been so close. And it's got to come soon. It has to come soon.
Has to. Look, this is what I'm saying. Look at the standard he's set. This is it. He's come in and set the standard. I know some Arsenal fans out there, Rashawn, that have said, we don't just want somebody to be a godfather figure or to come in and be the God saver, or the saver of the club. It's not about that. I understand the frustration. I get it because I'm an Arsenal fan myself. I'm very passionate about this club. I'm so passionate. I love this club to absolute bits. I love this football club and I love representing them. I'm a very, very passionate supporter. And I get it. But he has set the standard now. And for example, if Mikel does leave or he gets sacked or, another manager can see that is the standard of Arsenal. This is the standard. We need to compete, not only compete, but we're not only going to be competing. That's not. I understand that it's not just about compete. We need to eventually get over the line and show that the history of what we're doing is actually getting us to the final destination. It's not easy to win the league or champions. It's not easy to win anything now. Everybody's improving, not just Arsenal, Liverpool, City, for example. Everybody is improving. We want to go forward, but the team behind us want to go too forward. So we need to do that. We need to do that extra to get ahead, So Real Madrid is going to be tough. It's a competition that Arteta needs to show in this competition. You know what? It's going to be hard, but we can do it.
Yeah. I mean, being Real Madrid would be a big statement. I mean, I don't think anyone would expect us to do it. I mean, look at the wealth of talent they've got in their squad. Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo. Any one of them could turn up and be a game winner for them. Right now, we have Saka, and Saka's not. We don't even know if he's going to be fully fit for that game. You know, Ranieri is still raw. I mean, I think he turns 18 pretty soon. You know, it's going to be a big ask, but I feel like the battle can be won for us if we can maintain a solid defense and have a solid midfield. And right now, that is our biggest strengths. If it means having to be corner kick FC and winning like that, then that's what we'd have to do. And I can imagine Arteta is going to look to try to find a way to, you know, to beat Real Madrid out a way they don't probably expect. I mean, don't forget, Real Madrid have had a fall off this season themselves.
Definitely.
There is an opportunity.
Even that game, look at the players have got. Players have got all that talent, quality, and these big teams are enough, but still getting the job done. You understand? It's about that, getting that, flipping that coin. Do you think playing a mid-block, low-block against Real Madrid, that's a sign of giving up, or do you feel like, you know, that's something that that's the only option we're left with now, because we haven't got the players that we've lost due to injury? Do you think playing mid-block is a sign of you lot are giving up, or is that we're just doing our job with no options left?
I think if that's what we need to do, that's what we should do, especially at their stadium. If we need to play that low block, I mean, you don't really see Arsenal do that a lot. Teams do that to us. Like them, was it low blocks of 4?
Yeah.
And that we struggle to break that down. If we can do it ourselves, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and do that. Try catch them on the counter at their ground. If you can leave there with a 1-1 or even a 1-0, you're good. Then when we come back to the Emirates now, then we can be a bit more like expansive and just like, you know, play our normal game. But I think, yeah, if you have to mix it up sometimes, then mix it up.
The first game's at our ground.
Oh, the first one's at our ground, yeah. So I'd say then at the Emirates, go for it. Like, go for it. Real Madrid can be dangerous, but we've got Timber, we've got Saliba, we've got Gabriel, and we've got Skelly, plus Raya. Raya gets on my nerves a little bit, but he is a good keeper deep down. But like certain times, you see him near the halfway line, and it's like he gets a bit bored, that lack of concentration. But he's a good keeper. You know, if it weren't for him, United would have beat us at the depth last week with that Fernandes chance. And if that went in, I think that just collapsed our season. Like, that would have just ruined everything. Nail in the coffin business. Like, to lose against United in the final, like, parts of the game. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, definitely I would say at home, play our normal game. And that Madrid can be dangerous, but they haven't been all that really this season. And then when we go to their ground, we're going to need to be a bit more defensive. They've got a huge pitch, big stadium, and it could be a bit overwhelming for the lads. But what we want to see is a good performance. We want to see that effort, you know? We don't want to just go out there and get swept up in these 2 legs. Like, that would be terrible.
No, definitely not. We need to show who we are. We need to show that we have set the standard. We are Arsenal, considering we need to go out and play our game, right? We need to show some firepower. I want to see quality on the pitch. I don't want to see no side to side passing. And I understand sometimes that's the tactic you've got to use in the game when things aren't going your way, or, you know, you're getting pressed to the death, but it's not going to be easy. There's no easy game anymore. When people say that, I think they ain't got a clue what they're talking about in a respectful manner. Nobody can even play in Ipswich, for example. That's not easy. There's no easy game.
No, there isn't.
Example, that time in football is gone. When people say, "Oh, that'll be an easy game," Southampton. Right, yeah, it doesn't matter where they are on the table. Yeah, they're, but it's very difficult to get results against teams now because they do push you push you right till the end, and you've got to flip the coin and get the result. It's not easy. Rashawn, would you give if you was the board looking at assessing Arteta's seasons, his time at Arsenal so far, would you say you've got another year if you was in charge, or would you say you're gone? Do you feel really? I just want a simple yes or no, because I want to know where you're at. Do you think Arteta can win the title with Arsenal?
Yes.
Is that with additions, with, for example, summer transfers, and needs to go and get the players he wants?
Yeah, with additions.
Yeah.
With additions and a full squad for the whole season, as little injuries as possible, we can do it. We've shown we can do it. Like, there were times when Man City was beating us up left, right and centre. City can't touch us no more. Same with Liverpool. They used to beat us up. Not beating us up anymore. Like, it's all changed. And it's now the time where we should be beating them up and going ahead and winning the title.
Yeah, I agree. You know, would you say the title's done?
What? 12 points. 4, 8, 12, 1, 4, 3, 6, 9, 12. No. I've kind of conceded to myself that, yeah, it's going to be hard because we are inconsistent. I do think Liverpool will win it, but I think they'll win it by maybe 3 or 6 points or so. I don't really... I mean, if we beat them, that's 3 points we're taking off them. Then they've got to lose another 3 games or drop some points. It's possible. It is possible. But I don't know. Like I said, Liverpool are more favoured them to win their games more time. And I know they've probably got some easy games in there and they would win them, whereas us will struggle. So, no, I wouldn't say we're going to win the league. No. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's looking like it might be. I'll say might because obviously there's games left to play and, you know, the title's not over completely.
How many games are left?
I think it's 8 or 9, if I'm right. Just
we've all played 29 games each.
What is it, Sam? Say?
Yeah, but I've got 29 games we've all played, so that's another, what, 9?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
So, it's not looking good. Not looking good.
Yeah, 9 games.
Yeah, 9
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, because it means we have to win all 9 as well, and that includes winning at Anfield.
That's right. They will have to lose what? Well, drop points in over 5 games, you say, to get the gap and to win. Is that really realistic now? I mean,
I don't think so. Like, you can't rule it out. But it's us. It's Arsenal. Like, who have we got next in the league?
The thing is, even if they drop the points,
the thing
give it back.
If, let's just say, right, Liverpool drop points in 6 games, do you think Arsenal are going to capitalise as much as you think?
If they drop points in 6 games, we should be able to go 4 clear, possibly. But we wouldn't. We'd be struggling. I don't know why. Like, if it's a mentality thing or something, I don't know. I just feel like we wouldn't get the job done. Like, even if Liverpool was to get deducted 12 points, we'd still struggle.
Go on, Sam.
Liverpool only lost 1 game all season. That was a 1-0 at home to Forest. I think we take this into consideration. They're not going to lose 3 games out of the last 9. And if they did, then boy, oh boy. I mean, I mean, they've lost 2 games in a week, but you know, the other teams have had to literally put in, you know, the ultimate that they could. But the one key thing I noticed is that they couldn't have done this without Salah. 100%, they could never have done what they're doing without Salah. Salah is the reason why they are where they are, and if not, probably where we are. He's bailed them out so many times with all the silly penalties, and you know what I mean. Imagine if they didn't have that. Imagine if we had Saka. Who knows?
Oh my God, we've got Newcastle again on the 18th of May.
Yes, we all.
No. It's over. I'm looking at the fixtures now. So we've got Fulham at home, Everton away, the Real Madrid game at home, Brentford at home, Madrid away, Ipswich away, Palace at home, Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away, Newcastle at home, and the last game, Southampton away. They're all tough games, every single one of them. I couldn't even call.
It's done, man. It's done.
It's done, isn't it? I couldn't even pull 3 points out of our remaining games. Maybe Ipswich away. We might turn up and get 3 points.
Listen, it's not. This year's a write-off, right? Listen, next season, Rashawn, Sam, I want to hear from both of you, right? This is the last question I'm going to ask you, right? If Mikel doesn't win the league next season, does he have to go? Sam?
I think he has to go, you know. A tough one. Or for me, I would say at least get more than 90 points. I need to see an improvement. Like if he gets more than 90 points and he doesn't win, and you got to understand that this is just crazy.
Like for example, next year doesn't win the league, but doesn't win the league, doesn't finish in top 4, and he'd won as Carabao Cup or FA Cup. Would you be? For what we want to do, would you be satisfied?
Nah.
Because
if he drops at the top 4, then he's gone. The simple as
where's the evidence to say? Where's the evidence to say we're going to finish again second until we win the league? Do you understand? Like, I know we're doing it now. We're second, not win the league. Second, not win the league. But who's to say next year we're going to be second again to win the league? You know, it could be next year we dropped out of top 4, but won a cup. Do you know what I mean? That acceptable for where we want to go, but considering he's won silverware, because that's what all the fans are singing. They say if we don't win the title, we want silverware. So if he does fall out of top 4 and win silverware, that's what the fans have asked for. So can you be mad at that, or is it just the Premier League that we want? Premier League, for example, Champions League. Is it those? Obviously, I class all trophies as, you know, it's good to have to get as much trophies as possible. If you can't get the league and the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, the rest, brilliant, okay. But is it only the league and Champions League we're concerned about? What about the other cups?
For me, it's about winning all the cups, but a Carabao Cup wouldn't save him, and I don't think an FA Cup would either. Yeah, I think the level what we're at, Arteta has to be winning the league or the Champions League. It'd be a shame to sack him, because I don't want us to be one of them clubs where we're sacking managers all the time. But he's had a good 5-6 years. I think he's got us to where we need to be. But if he's not back properly, we ain't going to get over the line. But I would say that, if he doesn't win a trophy next season, especially the league, it could be time to let him go. Possibly, I think so. Yeah, but there is more to a season, I believe, than the league and the Champions League. There's a lot more to play for, but a lot of fans seem to see it as if you're not winning the league or the Champions League, it's done. We don't care about nothing else, and I don't really agree with that.
Yeah. Sam, do you agree? Do you think it's the obviously we want to win the league a long time, and that's Carabao Cup, that's not going to save him, you don't think?
For me, there's absolutely no way we should be thrown out of the top 4 next season. There's no reason why, because with how close we've come, this will be 3 times in a row. Ultimately, if you're not going backwards after 3 times in a row and the team's not improving, the players are going to lose belief in the manager, of course. It's just going to be it's just going to go backwards. Winning the FA Cup won't be enough. You know what I mean? Like, look at the teams in the FA Cup this season. The only big team left is Manchester City. Any team could win that FA Cup. Do you see what I'm saying? So, that's the trophy again. That could have been us. It should have been us. I mean, who knocked out Man United? I can't even remember who knocked them out. But you're telling me that if we had beat Man United, we wouldn't be favourites to that trophy right now? Yeah. And I think an FA Cup with a good run in the Champions League, a second in the league for this season probably would have been acceptable. But for next season, I don't think so.
My assessment of it is
Summer's got to be a big summer. We've got a new sporting director, so let's see what he's about to pull out.
Yeah, let's see what he's got his sleeve. My assessment of it is he needs to, where we are now competing and everything's brilliant, because let's praise as well as criticise. That's my assessment. But also I want to see silverware. I most definitely want to see the title, Champions League. And we need a big summer, and I mean big. When I say big, I mean also getting rid of players that are holding us back and using up the wage bill when we could be having players playing. For example, injured players that hardly got minutes and always injury prone. It's very unfortunate in football. I know it happens, but we need to move those kind of players on, because we know when we need players to fall back on, we can't go to them and call them and say, can you help us out when we need a helping hand? Tomiyasu.
Yeah, I was just thinking Tomiyasu.
Quite a lot.
Too injured. Needs to go.
Yeah. I like Tomiyasu, but he needs to. Those guys, it's very unfortunate. I'm not saying that I dislike them, because I like Tomiyasu as a defender. It's very good. But if he wasn't injured, I think he'd be absolutely quality. He'd be really, really good defender. But again, not good enough where we want to go, because where we are going, we're going to be playing more. We're going to be in more competitions. Players are going to be fatigued and that, and we need to sub. And we can't call upon those kind of players when they're injured all the time. Tomiyasu, the likes of Zinchenko, I don't know, question marks around Jesus. We've got Yakivior. When these also the players that are all out on loan, when they come back, the Fabio Vieiras, Nuno Tavares, those kind of players, what's their future like? So summer has to be big, a big summer, buying and selling. I don't want I don't want to see any nonsense. That's all I know. He's had enough time now to try and get something over the line, and I think next year we'll really paint the picture better. But let's see, people. Sam, thank you so much for joining. Rashawn, thank you very much for joining as well. This was a nice debate. We'll have to do another video to really see where we are, maybe the end of the season, and assess it more, assess it better, and also talk about transfers, links and stuff. So people, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and love as always. Thank you very much, people.
Thanks for having me on. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Look,
For
man.
sure.
Appreciate it.
Right, yeah. Nice to meet you.